Hi guys, thanks for watching this video. Today I'm talking about Java thread lifecycle. Java thread has 5 different states: new, new state, runnable state, running state, blocked or waiting state. Then last one will be dead state. Okay, so we'll see in detail about in this video. Okay, when you create an object for your thread class, then that object will be in new state. Means it's same as normal object. Okay, so once you call the start method of your thread class, then that thread will move from new state to runnable state. Okay, so basically you are giving control to thread scheduler to execute the thread. Okay, so here thread, basically these runnable state, running state and block state, these three state, it's controlled by the thread scheduler. Okay, okay. So once you call the start method, then your thread will will come to runnable state. Basically the thread scheduler will maintain kind of thread pool. Okay, to keep all runnable state thread into that thread pool. Okay, so then the thread scheduler will pick that record from this thread pool, runnable state thread, and then it will move into the running state. Depends on the load and it depends on the thread priority. Okay. Mm. So as a means like we after or once you call the start method, then we don't have control to move our thread from running state to runnable state. So those things will taken care by the thread scheduler. Okay, so it depends on the priority. So but we can define the thread priority when you create a thread object, thread instance, basically. Okay. um A thread scheduler will move the thread from runnable state to running state. Depends on the thread priority. Okay, from once the thread is running state, thread is in running state, then there is a possibilities to move back to runnable state, or uh, move to blocked or waiting state, or the dead state. There is a possibility to move into these three state. Okay, from running state. Okay, so it depends on the method which we are going to invoke, or the thread priority. Okay, or the thread, or it's a log, resource log. Okay, so there are different possibilities, so we'll see one by one. Okay. Mm. Thread will move from running state to waiting state by calling wait method or sleep method. So if we invoke the wait method, then thread will move to due to some reason. Depends on user requirement. Or we can put our current running thread into waiting state for some reason. So for some reasons. Okay, so or we can put current running thread into sleep. We can invoke the sleep method to put current running thread into waiting state. Okay, so once thread will move into waiting state, we can define the waiting time or sleeping time in millisecond. Okay, so once you complete this time period, then thread will again move back to the runnable state. And the other possibilities will be the uh, thread can move from running state to blocked state. For example, let's say current running thread, it's required some common required to access some common object. Let's say it has to access that some input object. Let's say it's array list. but that array, that list object, it's not means currently it's used by other thread. It's logged by other thread. Okay, then the current running thread has to wait until the other thread will release the log. So in that situation, the current running thread will move into block state. Then thread scheduler will pick other thread and assign into move into running state. Okay, so let's say once moved into block state or waiting state, these thread will move back to runnable state in different scenario. Let's say if the block thread got the lock or got the object common object access, then that again then that it's ready, that thread is ready to run. Okay, so that in that case it will move back to runnable state. Or the waiting thread, where waiting thread um, will once it complete the timing, then it will move back to runnable state. Okay, so from runnable state again thread scheduler will take care from runnable state to running state. It will move, depends on the thread priority. Okay, so once okay, this is the flow. And then one more cases will be, then we can invoke yield method. So that yield method, what it will do, it will move the current running thread into runnable state, depends on the thread priority. Okay, so so what it mean in the sense, like the current running thread give uh, chance to other thread to execute. Okay, so that means basically when we call this yield method, then we'll check, the scheduler will check is there any other uh, uh, thread is waiting with the same priority or higher priority in the runnable state. If there is no thread it's available, all the thread is which is there in runnable state, all are in, with the low priority, then the current thread itself will start continue to the execution. Okay, so once that thread run so okay, then from once that thread run method it's completed, then means that thread task is completed, then it will move to thread scheduler will move that thread into dead state. Okay, or we can submit the stop method, we can call the stop method, but it will not immediately, it will not move the thread into dead state. It will release all the log, all those resources, then it will move into dead state. Okay, so this is the thread life cycle. In the next section, I'm going to explain inter-thread communications, how in the multi-threaded environment, how thread is communicating with each other. Okay, so we'll see it in the next section. So okay, thanks to watch this video.